Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Shoibal Manna, and currently I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, ABES Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today's topic is closed loop control system. So in the previous class, we talked about the open loop control system. So open loop control system has no feedback path, whereas in the closed loop control system, there is feedback path. Now, what is closed loop control system? So in the closed loop control system, we can say the control action is dependent on the desired output. As well as in the control system, the actual output is compared to the desired input and the error signal is produced. Then the error signal is fed to the controller to reduce the error and we get our desired output. So here you can see this is the basic block diagram of the closed loop control system. So in case of the open loop control system, there is only one controller block is there and one is planned or process block there. But here you can see there is one feedback loop block and also there is comparator block is there. So here this is the input. This is our the desired input. Okay. So when we give some desired input, then it goes to the controller, then controller you force the plan to give the controlled output. So this is the control output, or we can say this is the actual output. Then this actual output is feedback and there is the comparator. So this block compares and the error signal is directly fed to the controller so that the controller force the plan so that it gives the output just like as our reference input. Now coming to the components that are used in the closed loop system, here you can see this is the basic block diagram of the closed loop system, command input, reference input, then error detector, then control element, then control system, control output, as well as the feedback element. So what do you mean by command input? So actually command is the externally produced input and it is the independent of the feedback loop system. Now this is the reference input element. So this produce the standard signal that is proportional to the command signal. And the error signal, so error detector is nothing but it compares the reference input as well as our actual output. And the next is the control element. We can also see this is the controller. So controller main function is to reduce the error. And this is the control system. This system is that what we are controlling by the feedback loop. So this can be, we can say this is the process or we can say this is the system. Now this is the feedback element. So this element feedback the output to the error detector for comparison with the reference input. Now coming to the advantage and the disadvantage. So coming to the advantage, so these systems are the more reliable, closed loop system are the faster. A number of variables can be handled simultaneously. Optimization is possible. But what about the disadvantage? So closed loop systems are more expensive, maintenance difficult, complicated installations, and huge maintenance is needed. Now take one example that is automatic electric iron. Okay, so in the automatic iron system, there is the thermostat. So here you can see this thermostat acts like a controller. So here we give some the reference input. So reference input here is nothing but the temperature. So based on the temperature, thermostat turns on the heating element. So heating element is nothing but the actuator. Then the heating element heats the sole plate of the iron. So the iron plate will be heated up. Then we get the actual temperature. If the actual temperature is not similar to the desired temperature, then it directly feedback the temperature to the controller. So this controller means this error detector. So error detector compares the desired input as well as the actual input, and the error is directly fed to the controller, and the loop will be continue till our desired input is equal to the actual temperature. Then it is automatically turned off. Now, other examples are water level controller, air conditioners. So in case of the air conditioner, you already know there is also the thermostat. So thermostat initially check the temperature of the room. Then depending upon the temperature, it just turn on the compressor and it turn off the compressor depending upon the temperature. Then servo voltage stabilizer. So one of the most interesting example is human traveling on the road. If we consider the human traveling on the road, you can see our controller is our own brain. And what is our output? Output is the position and feedback is nothing but the displacement. And what about the system? System is our human. And what about the error detector? So in case of the human, our error detector is our eyes. Okay. Now also it is useful for the missile launcher. Now coming to the difference between the open loop system as the closed loop system. So in the open loop system, we can say this is not reliable because we did not get our desired response. Here we get the desired response. Open loop system, you can see this is normal because it is easier to build, it is difficult to build. And in case of the open loop system, if the calibration is good, then it gives the best accuracy. In case of the closed loop system, their accuracy basically depends upon the feedback. In case of the open loop system, the systems are more stable. If we consider the closed loop system, they are less stable. So in case of the open loop system, if there disturbances happen, then it cannot damp out the disturbances. But in case of the closed loop system, they automatically damp out the disturbances by using the feedback loop. These are the reference. Thank you.